a few of these 10 problems where we are asked to pick some hard and easy ones. Somebody has me, how do you do letter A? So I'm gonna go over how to do problem A. And it reads, and this is mostly for my class here in Carson, Long Beach. Go Lobos, and for my students who are making an effort to try to do better. So what do we have? I want to solve an equation. As you can see, at the beginning, there's a fraction. It's negative. A fraction times a number inside a parentheses equals to 75 plus another fraction. So what I'm going to do to make this fast, it's what I have told my class. If you're multiplying a number by a fraction, I said multiply both sides. Actually, multiplied this side, this term, and this term, each single term, by the reciprocal of negative 5, 6. So when I flip negative 5, 6, my reciprocal is negative 6 fifths. So I'm going to multiply the left side, the 75, on the right side by negative 6 fifths. And this will uh, hopefully cancel the fractions. There'll be no more fractions. So I'm going to start. I'm going to have negative 6 fifths, my reciprocal, times the first fraction. What is that? Negative 5, 6 times 8 plus 5b. So that's going to be my left side. On the right side, I got to multiply also the 75 times my reciprocal and this fraction times the reciprocal. So again, negative 6 fifths times 75. And finally, negative 6 fifths times 5 thirds b. I'm kind of running out of space there. Forget that g for now. All right, let's start with this side. Now I'm multiplying. A negative times a negative should turn positive. This, guys, you can see this in different ways. I can say 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 6 is also 30. 30 over 30 is 1. It pretty much cancels to 1. Or I can say divide 6 by 6, that's 1. Divide 5 by 5, that's 1. Negative times negative is positive. All this turns into a 1. So I have 1 times 8 plus 5b equal to. So the left side has been solved. Now, how do I simplify this? I have 75 divided by 5. So I'm wondering, can I simplify this? Notice that 75 is a multiple of 5. So you could simplify it. I believe that 75 is 15 times 5. Let me check. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 10 is 50. It is correct. So now I can simplify. 75 is 15 times 5. This 5 cancels this 5, and I am left with negative 6 times 15. So that's what's going to go in my answer right here. Negative 6 times 15. Notice there's no fraction. That's great. Let's continue with the next one. What's a negative times a positive? This is going to give me negative. How do I simplify this here? Notice, guys, that there is a 5 in the numerator and denominator. When you multiply fractions, you could cancel this as a 1. And I'm left with 6 over 3. Now, guys, 6 divided by 3, that's simple. That's 2. So this whole thing became a 2b. So everyone, it really helped to multiply everything by the reciprocal of negative 5, 6, which was negative 6 fifths. Now, be careful. Reciprocal doesn't mean to get the opposite. If I have a negative 6 fifths, I just flip to negative. Sorry, if I have negative 5, 6, I just flip it. I keep it negative. Anyways, I have just simplified all this. This is my new equation. Now, 1 times any number is the number. I just rewrite 8 plus 5b equals to 6. What is 6 times 15? Negative times positive is negative. 6 times 15 is really 90, because I have 6 times 1, 6 times 10 is 60, 6 times 5 is 30. That gives me 90 total. So that's a 90, and then minus 2b. Now, like we've talked about this in class, how do I solve an equation with variables on each side? Some students said collect like terms. I cannot do that here. Here, I don't have the variables on the same side. I want to move one of the variables, and I will move, in this case, I want to move the smaller one from 5b and negative 2b. I'm going to add 2b. I'm going to add 2b. Here, this becomes 8. 5b plus 2b is 7b. 8 plus 7b equals to negative 90. This cancels, becomes 0. What was our next step when we solve an equation? We said 8 plus 7b is negative 90. I'm multiplying 7 times b and I'm adding 8. Now I'm going to subtract 8. Now I'm going to move my constants to one side. Subtract 8, subtract 8. And this is 0. And we bring down the 7b. And this is negative 90 divided by negative 8. Guys, I hope you remember the rules that you learned in the 7th grade. In the 7th grade, you learn how to add numbers that are positives and negatives. A negative 90 minus 8 is negative 98. When you add a negative plus a negative, it stays negative. You're adding. Don't confuse with multiplying. A negative times a negative. Finally, divide by 7. Divide by 7. And this cancels, and I get my answer. B equals, guys, that's 98 divided by 7. Well, I'm trying to use my head. I know I can do division, 98 divided by 7. But guys, look, let's think. I know 7 goes into 70. Guys, I know that 98 is the same thing as 70 plus 28. I was just thinking about that right now. 7 goes into 70 10 times. And 7 times 4 is 28. So yes, it does divide. I'm just using what I called mental math. Okay? Negative divided by positive is negative. And what's my final answer? Anyone? Anyone? How come the class is so quiet? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm alone here doing this lesson. So divide by 7. Divide by 7. 98 divided by 7 is the same as 70 divided by 7 plus 28 divided by 7. That's 10. That's 4. 10 plus 4, it's negative 14. I found the answer. So that's the problem. All right. I'm going to do in another video one more. Please follow me on oh no, actually, this is not a place where you can follow me. This is just a problem here on our school system.